Welcome back, everyone, to the show. I'm the host, as always, Strong Legs, and this man right here is Keith LaFortune. He brings us great fortune for what is a pretty spicy matchup here between KOVA and Fate, the Bulgarian roster. I think one of two Bulgarian rosters that we have in Winners League Invite Division, and they're kind of on the come up, Keith. They're the, kind of like the fresh blood in the Winners League. Of course, KOVA being a tenured team within Winners League, the Finnish roster, who, fun fact, average about 20.6 age, so they're pretty young, actually, the Finnish roster.
And it does look like they have some brothers. I think Yuli, Twinkie, and Pitola could all be brothers. They could get away with it, and I would believe them, Roy.
In terms of looks or last names?
In term of looks.
okay.
Yeah, I haven't dove too far in names, but I swear, Yuli, Twinkie, and Pitola could all be brothers, and I wouldn't bat an eye. I'd believe them.
Oh, I could see it. Especially
right?
Uli and Pitola. They kind of look similar.
Exactly. I think this match is going to be sweet. I haven't had the pleasure of commentating Fate, as you said. They're new. Yeah. Bulgarian rosters, though, are always interesting to me because I feel like most Bulgarian rosters always have firepower and structure. So it's cool to see more Bulgarian rosters because it's also a scene that I don't know too much about. And it's a scene that I think is slowly progressing and catching up to like the, I don't know if you can say they're catching up to like the Danish scenes of the world, but yeah, they have a couple great teams. So,
for a small country, they definitely are pumping out good talent. I'll say that much. But I think the only player that we have seen before in Winners League Invite Division is Zix. I think he was on one of the Bulgarian rosters prior, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check my sources, and Fate is being coached by a North American coach, Bibi. So I think that will bring kind of a different perspective on their game and on their outlook on how the rounds should be approached and how the maps should be approached. So I think it'll be interesting. And if you are wondering, everyone, what the map is, it is Dust 2, my favorite map. Personally, I love that map so much, and I can't wait to see it.
There's no resentment there. That was true honesty. Yeah. I could tell, Roy. That was a lot of love.
Lots.
And I do have some news that's actually irrelevant to this matchup, but relevant to CSGO, I guess. It's official. Maynard's benched on MIBR. Just gonna throw that in there just because why not? It's relevant.
Really? They benched Maynard?
Officially, yes.
Wow. I did not see that one coming.
The rumor is TRK. That's rumored. That'd be pretty sick. I think he's a good player, but yeah, I'm just trying to, avoid talking about Dust 2 because we love the map so much, Roy.
True.
But I think you've correct me if I'm wrong.
Hit me.
I think your, I would say, disapproval of Dust 2 really started to come into shape when the SG started getting really good. I know you didn't like it before, but I feel like the SG probably pushed over the edge. Now that the SG's gone and there's more skyboxes opened up towards outside long, and teams can smoke and molly and nade catwalk while being safe, I feel like your love maybe has come back a little bit. I know the map is still obviously tactically flat, but they open skyboxes towards B. That means holding B is worse. But
I think the only things that I've seen with the open skybox on the B tunnels have been the smokes and just really mediocre flashes that aren't even working half the time. And so I maybe I think the SG meta has definitely, at least with it being gone, has definitely changed a lot of the outlook and the pacing of Counter-Strike, and it's allowed the CTs to go back to being risky and not having to fight a disadvantage duels every single time. Now with the M4 versus AK not as bad, and of course with the AUG kind of being uncontested, it's kind of starting to come back into play slowly but surely. But I think the big thing for me here is that one thing I can definitely say is that KOVA they've had the same lineup since last season of Winners League. They've been together even before that. And I think that their structure and their firepower that they bring is going to be really difficult for the Bulgarian side. But less predictions, more action. Mel, kick the show. Let's start this.
Yeah, here we go. Knife round. I feel like it's not as Seaside obviously as it used to be. I think CT sides have a bit more options now. They don't have to worry about peeking into scope rifles that can out-peek your op. So I think CT sides have started to get more rounds. I still feel, Roy, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I still feel like this is a T-sided map just inherently, just due to the spawns favoring you. And it's hard to play a strong CT side because rotates take so long in this map, and it's just a big map, and there's a lot to cover for the CT. So I still feel like it's T-sided. That's just my take.
Yeah, I've always felt like this map was pretty oddly balanced in some weird way. Like, there's some games where people are getting a lot of rounds on T side, and there's some games where people are getting a lot of rounds on CT side, and it's somewhere in between that, there's some balance. But I feel like the lower you go in the tiers of top 100 teams, the more T-sided this map becomes. But the higher it goes, it's becoming more and more CT-sided. But who knows? What do I know, Keith? But let's go back to KOVA right here. They have 2 set of utilities, right? One on Peku, one on Paitola. They have not dropped any P250, so it's all Glock for them. And then meanwhile, double flashes for Nikki on the face side.
Yeah, Zick, back sight here. You're trying to tap away, get some damage in. These Glocks are flashed off and held back, Roy. And they're going to try to back on out of here now. They don't like the damage they've taken. They feel like they've baited rotation. It's enough utility, but man, that's a lot of damage for nothing.
Yeah, they didn't get anything at all from that. Now they're going to reroute back to short A. Hopefully they can overwhelm it quickly enough before the rotates arrive. And it's just a rush now for the A site. And once again, KOVA not liking their timing, and they're reconsidering their strategy here. The big thing, though, is that in Mars' position, he just gave it up. But I was going to say, as long as he's there, they can't really fall offshore, so they can remain stacked towards the A site. But now with that player being gone in his eyes as well, they have no idea what's happening. But these smokes, these flashbangs, that's definitely going to signal towards the A site.
Can Duplicate hang on towards ramp? Nikki going to try to assist. Does catch the first player. Echo gone. Paitola refrags, and here comes Twinkie. Can he deal with Duplicate? He can, and KOVA trade out appropriately. They swoop in from long, and just Zick trying to make a retake happen. Nice shot on the first. Twinkie is very low. Has to be careful about how he peeks this. Yuli long range with the Glock should get it, and he will. KOVA pick up the pistol. And honestly, the way this started, I was very surprised they pulled that back. Good on them.
Yeah, I was just literally, you just took the words out of my mind, honestly. I kind of agree. That was a terrible start of the round for KOVA, but somehow they managed to trade out properly on the A site. That was so well done. That pretty much saved them out of that one. I think they took over like 200 damage almost across the board. No casualties, of course, but a ton of damage gained for nothing. But here we go. The force fire is out here for Fate. They have a scout. They have an MP9. They have a couple Deagles and armors. One CZ and Dirt Keps with the scout. Opens up first blood. That's Gemini out.
Didn't seem fair, Roy. Yuli, in the meantime, get a hold. The long push, and the pistols are getting wild. Wildly coyote. As the scout gets picked up by Nikki. As KOVA have a perfect start to... I don't know why I said it like that. I said that like I'm role-playing as a cat. I'm not. But they have a pretty good start to this round, Roy.
I would say so. I think they're pretty much satisfied with their hit. The only problem is they're going in without any info or any sort of idea of where the remaining 3 players are. But they're actually all here. So there actually is a fighting chance as long as they can find the shots. That's the first Eagle gone. Nope, the flashbang will allow the peek here for Duplicate. Ground off it. But I think they're already too close for comfort for him. And they have nowhere to stand, unfortunately. And it is KOVA picking up the second round and what should be a third here as long as things go according to plan against the USPs and no armor.
They can afford Deagles, though, Roy. Don't you forget, because they are on quick math, the 2,900 loss bonus, because it stacks. So they can afford a couple upgraded pistols, a flash, but yeah, you're right, not much. And I have faith that KOVA should be able to handle this appropriately. As it Keps with his scout. Ooh, the timing. Sometimes it sucks. Right when he unscopes to go to flash his teammate in double doors, he's going to go ahead and do so now. The cap players have backed up. And it seems like KOVA have a prime read on this round.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe not. They do find Peku. And the pistols are flying in, Roy. They're out trading the rifles. Twinkie's so low, they have to peek them together. Yaw has the lower peak, and he finds their catch. Not like this. One Deagle, a P250, and a flash. Gemini calling for his teammate, and they're gonna get it done. Fate find it, and that is, you know, KOVA, they're all just face palming right now so hard.
Wow, that I did not expect that outcome, to be honest. That was just USPs, no armor. I mean, you're sending Mac 10s into a USP fight, and he's not even winning that. So that's rough. Did you just call?
What's that?
Did you call Twixie Twinkie?
I did, yo, my bad. I haven't had a Twinkie in a hot minute. So, like, listen, Give me some leeway here. It's a sweet treat. It's a sweet treat and one of the best pre-manufactured sweets you can buy, okay? So I think that's a compliment. I'm sorry, Twixie. But you remind me of Twinkie, and that's probably not good for my health or for you.
Yeah, you know what else is not good for my health? These rounds. That was the swiftest round I've probably seen in a while. That was a full gun too. It's already over.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. AKs galore now. They even get the AWP out. Not a bad start. 7 kills for our friends over at KOVA for Twixie. Oh my god.
Think of Twix. You know the Twix bar?
Well, I'm gonna start calling them Twix.
I think it's closer than the other versions.
Yeah, Twixie. I'm not gonna mess that up again. Because look, you have a dessert, 2 desserts on the side of KOVA. You have Twixie and you have Pytola.
Okay,
like, come on,
a pie.
A pie.
Okay.
Like, come on. So this is a make you hungry team.
Yeah. I think you're just hungry, Keith, and you're just projecting on their names.
I might be doing that, but I'm not going to admit it.
No, coming back to CS, though, I do wonder what FaZe's going to do here. I mean, they have 2 people that are in the buy zone for M4. They do have already kind of a decent loss bonus. I think they might just opt for the full save here. But if they go for the full save, they have virtually nothing to work with. And I imagine that Mar and Nikki are both going to be saving up for ops in the next round. Something to deal with KOVA's fast pace on that first gun, because that was actually terrifying. I doubt they want to go and play that pace again against KOVA. So I think they're going to take out the double ops as soon as possible. The rifles will definitely be limited in terms of utility, unless you're going to be downgrading to the A1S, of course.
Which, by the way, I've kind of found it's not as bad as I once thought, Roy. I've actually opened up to the idea. It has some more ammo. They've given it more bullets. Duely's going to have some free kills here. Manages to spray appropriately. Gets 2. They get the AK, but they can just pretty much leave them. Durkeps can post. They bait the shot. He actually goes back for more. And yeah, actually has armor. So I think this is a prime save from Fate. They can just play for some exits with the AWP, but that's not a bad outcome.
Yeah, I mean, even if they were to save right now, that'd be a perfect outcome. You got an AK off that, you got an op off that. And I think they might be looking for some sort of exit just to keep the economy in check here for KOVA. Even a single kill here, Keith, would go a massive way and allow Fade the opportunity to swing this back as early as possible on the CT side. So I think an exit here would be fine. You can already see Nikki's kind of posted for it in a pretty safe position. And Mars holding the headshot angle behind the car towards T-spawn, looking for that kill as well. So if anyone exits in B tunnels, they might risk their weapons. But I think they're all going to be saving out towards CT spawn instead. Okay.
You can even live at car now, so not a big deal. Well,
who's going to tell Wixie that he not survive there? But they got the kill. They got a 3rd kill.
There you go.
And look at Swixie's economy now as a result. He could have been sitting easily at 5K almost right now, if not more than 5K.
Things you hate to see if you're a KOVA fan. And Gemini gonna break out the AWP, heads towards ramp, flashes to the teammates at long. In the meantime, KOVA's gonna be doing. This is the default I've seen a lot of teams doing. 3 towards our tunnels at the start. You leave your B anchor holding a nice cheeky angle that pretty much gets a guaranteed kill if they push. And 2 players work lower, work up cat. The long player holds long, obviously, and your opera kind of sits back to spawn. So this has been the go-to default for most teams I've been seeing on Dust 2 lately. And I think mainly because it's super safe. And it doesn't cost a lot of utility. Getting catwalk isn't as difficult as it used to be. And Pytola gonna get challenged here. Does he get that guaranteed kill I talked about? He does. And he should get traded here. But no, he gets both. And his team may just consider just being quiet, staying alive on cat, letting Pytola pull all the rotates. Is he going to go for 3 in one clip? He is. What a absolute monster.
That's things you love to see if you're a KOVA fan. Gemini getting a bit of a consolation now against Peku, but that's about all that it is. Just consolations as they're already routing for the exit here. And Pytola just single-handedly opening up that round and securing the round for KOVA. Literally could not be any better time for him as well. Now, this is where things start to get a little dicey, right? If they keep 4 alive here, their economy starts to mount up a little bit. They're at double buy rounds, potentially 3 buy rounds in a row. That's when things start to... This is where we start leading at, like, that crazy T-sides that we were talking about earlier, right? There's the 9 rounds, the 10 rounds on T-side.
Yeah.
So if you're Fate right now, and you're a Fate fan, you're hoping for the early battle here in the next couple of rounds. Otherwise, this half might spiral out of control for sure.
It seems to be starting, and that's on the back of one player making a play towards B. So, not very promising start, but the nice thing is it's the beginning, it's the first half. The first half has less importance just due to how the economy is, unless it's a blowout. So, Fate need to recover a little bit here. They do have the op in M4, and they have enough money with loss bonus to buy once again. Gemini will drop, and it's another full, complete buy for them with 1 kit. Perhaps could have gotten a couple more, so I'm looking at you, Nikki, and I'm looking at you, Gemini. If you lose this round because of a defuse, I'm not blaming you, but hey, I'm putting you on blast.
I still have not heard any compelling arguments to why you wouldn't buy kits in these scenarios.
Yep.
At least one, right? Like, okay, I can see Gemini that maybe he wants to say have enough money for a buy next round in case he loses. But I mean, Nikki could easily front run here, no problem. But
yep.
What I'm also surprised to see as well is that A is still opting for a mid to A heavy setups when B has been a problem for them so far. Once again, they have Zix solo anchoring. He's not the healthiest of players either. He's already down to 74 HP. That's 3 AK shots to the chest. Now they're starting to work the mid to B key.
Yeah, and it's not like KOVA have been fighting long early on, so I'm surprised they're putting that many bodies towards long to support the Pit player on A side to support Pit. Now the wrap's on. There's no way Zix can hang on by himself. No one's even in CT to throw utility for him. Yeah, he just gets overrun. You can see KOVA kind of surprised. They're like, wait, this is the only guy here? Okay. And how you can't even bother for a retake for Fate because you're so far away. You don't even have CT control. It seems like Fate were just kind of hoping that KOVA would fight towards Cat, fight towards Long, but KOVA haven't even been really committing to that. They've been very stubborn in their default.
This is where I feel like you need a change of... You just have to give them a different look, right? KOVA is starting to adapt really nicely to your setups. I almost feel like you need an entire culture change in the approach here for Fate, right? Get the ops, start taking aggressive peaks, start getting control. Even the double push upper B wouldn't even be a bad idea, considering KOVA's really only defaulted with 1 person there early, right? These are things that you kind of have to pick up on if you're Fate and you're just not finding success holding standard setups and holding these like gamble stacks in some ways. So I'd like to see them kind of tip the balance here a little bit. But luckily for Fate, their money's starting to increase due to these saves, so they're actually not too stressed about this round. They can take risks here if they need to, and they'll still have enough money to buy.
Oh, how do they let that happen? He's given 2 one-on-ones. Peku takes full advantage. Their Caps even gets caught by Zix, but he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the B site. Whatever happens on A, it's your guys' fault. And he's gonna tuck into the back of the site. Nikki's gonna need some help. His nade's gonna be late. The flashes come in. Actually, decent damage from the nade was late, but Yuli taking all the nade damage still gets the trade kill. Nikki gets his head taken off, and KOVA seem to just be treating this like an aim warm-up.
Wow. I've always felt that one of the hardest things to deal with is people who are throwing executes and holding instead of like constantly pushing for space. Unless you have the perfect flashbangs as support, you're not really going to find much. And if you do peek out a little too wide than you should be, you're facing 3 people just posted up on you. And that's exactly what KOVA is doing, right? Is they're throwing the execute on short A, but they're not really moving up. They're hanging out. They're chilling. Also be fair, I mean, that was a double opener for Peku as well, which...
That's true.
Definitely should probably not have gotten.
No, I think there should have been a trade, whether from the catwalk player or the mid player, like whoever went down first. I believe it was the mid player, so the cat player should have gotten him and then backed on out. But unfortunately, did not happen. 7-1. It's been a very fast-paced game. KOVA have done a nice job of either getting control through their default very early and then settling into an execute, or taking the picks that Fate are giving them, taking those one-on-ones, winning them, and immediately having good mid-rounding. We haven't seen really any mid-rounding from Fate. and or any rotates, because there's really been no opportunities to do so. KOVA have been all over them, like killer bees to honey, Roy, which are terrifying.
I'm curious who will be the first here for Fate to re-energize, revitalize their roster, because I feel like they need some sort of heroic play, right? They need somebody to allow them to regain their confidence, or maybe even if it's not an individual, maybe like a flawless gun round, or 4 players alive, a convincing gun round, 5 players alive, maybe that would be really good for their morale. But as of right now, if this tactical timeout is not successful in converting this round, I think their psyche and their confidence is going to be struggling for the rest of this game, and potentially, but definitely for the half.
We'll see if Gemini can get a pick for the squad. Back towards long pressure early, and there you have it. Gemini does get the pick on the Paitola. He oversteps his welcome. No flashes, no lurk smoke, nothing. He peeks it dry, and Gemini is there for the frag. That's what Fate needed. The opening pick without it getting traded. And now they can commit a body to mid. They can commit a player CT. They can get appropriate rotates. That's what you like to see from Fate. But can they hang on? KOVA are still explosive even when a man down.
Now, they've succeeded in the early round, but now we're starting to enter the mid round, right? They don't have much info as to where KOVA is. They know some of them are towards middle. They never pushed upper B off that kill, so they actually have no idea what's happening. But now this execute, obviously the Molotovs and smokes raining in from short A is giving a pretty clear sign as to where this is going to end. Let's see if they can actually defend against it, though.
Can they hang on? They're able to get to the site, so they're playing the retake game. Zik has no pressure coming from long. They still have duplicate in pit. Baku just going to go ahead and plant. He can back up towards Ganondorf. And there you have it. Terkeps wins the first fight. Zix, nice headshot on Baku. Can he double in? Yes, he can. Can't get the third. Terkeps still living. And where is Twixie this whole time? He is just slowly living. He's hiding on site. He has a smoke to work with, but Gemini's not missing. Nice shots. That's his second. Terkeps, can he do this? 1v3, has to go for the ace. He gets 4, Roy. He's jumping up now. Gemini taps the bomb, gets off, misses his shot. Terkeps playing the long game to the P250, dodges the shot, connects and dips away. Terkeps has done it. He won't get the ace, but you know what? Give him an imaginary one because he won the round.
And that's really all that matters. Flashy or not, he got the job done. And what a round that was. I mean, that was Fate's chance to get their psyche in check. That was their chance to convert that round. And 1 versus 3, that surely is a blow to their confidence and a blow to their emotions here. Wow.
From first pick to that, Roy. It's unfortunate. Gemini got the ball rolling, but can't hang on. The KOVA executes are too strong.
Do you think there is such a thing as trying to play too perfect of Counter-Strike?
Yeah. I think the best form of Counter-Strike is having structure, but also playing reactionary. Willingness to change your setups and willingness to tweak your defaults mid-game and willing to make adjustments. Even though you go into the round with a plan, willingness to change it, I think, goes a lot further than being stubborn. So I think trying to play too much like you practice can come back and bite you, in my opinion.
I almost feel like it would have been worth it for Fate, although they got the opening pick on B, was to push further for control and actually establish a sort of flank or some sort of off-timed strat. But here we go. Let's see how this beat plate's going down right now for KOVA. Because as of right now, they find themselves in double entries. Nicky is trying to control this, but unfortunately, there's just too many players out in mid, and the remaining players crumble for Fate. And KOVA put themselves up towards 9 rounds now on the offense here on Dust 2. A solid performance from them so far. And I almost can't help but feel like Fate needs at least 3 to 4 rounds here if they want any sort of living chance in this next half, Keith.
At least, yeah. They need to let this one go, and I think they have to win out. Or at least close to it, because things are getting dire. As we can see, KOVA are good for the rest of the round. The rest of the round is a bye. That's not a bad trade for Yuli. gives information for his teammates to just run into B. Gemini, can he find some headshots? He gets the tag. Can't hit the second tag, and now he's pretty much locked out. And this is going to be a plant for KOVA. The retake obviously is going to be attempted because of just pistols. And nice trade from Sick. There you go. So that's an op. This is doable, but they're going to have to get a bit lucky, Roy.
Oh, that smoke is brutal. If there was any sort of if there was any sort of confidence for that retake to happen, it just went away with that smoke right there. Instantly halted them. Zix will hold on to that op. I think he's more than happy to have that into the next round. But I think Gemini and Mar here, they definitely have to go for something. Get some exits, get some weapon upgrades. He's going to go after the bomb. Well, Twixie's 100% dead here.
Yeah, he's accepted it. And they're just going to sit on the rifles. There shouldn't be a chance. Even though he kills one, yeah, he just couldn't get a gun. The after time is just short. Every TO has a different time after round, and Winners Leagues is nice and snappy. But I bet it's just Faceit's default time, so. No time to grab a gun. 10-1, and it's coming down to this one. There's an op on the floor for Gemini. They're going to take a tech pause, solve their issues, but it's been KOVA just packing it up. It's been Fate having no luck with rotates, getting picked, and then KOVA just, their executes can't be stopped right now, Roy. And I think that might be a lack of information from Fate, because they're just peaking like default angles and losing it. I haven't seen really, since they got shut down on the B push, they haven't gone for that again. There's been no mid aggression off of catwalk. They're getting long, but KOVA are giving that up. That's pretty much the main reason they're getting it.
Which is almost unusual, right? Because oftentimes most teams are, that's usually their pressure point, right? You pressure long A really hard. You go for the clashes. If you win those clashes 2 times out of 3, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to find a CT side that's not really willing to take the risk at long A anymore. And by that end, you've already almost succeeded. But KOVA has a very different and interesting approach, right? They don't pressure long A very well. They just throw us a couple smokes. They throw a couple flashes, and that's it. They're not sending bodies. They're not sending anyone to risk their lives. They're really just working this mid round, just denying info, not really letting Fate understand what's happening in the round, and then they're just executing off that kind of that shadow. But I think the biggest point for me that I was trying to say earlier is that I feel like there is such a thing where you're just trying to play too structured and too perfect of Counter-Strike, where you get a man up and then you start to play standard, right? Because we're a man up, let's all turtle up, let's all defend. But that almost plays against you sometimes. And I feel like if you get a kill that gives you control, you should take that control. And you should position yourselves in that so that you know undeniably where KOVA's ending, and you can readjust your numbers properly and set up for the defense.
Very true. I just got hit with some interesting world news, Roy. It's kind of big news.
What's
very
that?
Interesting. Joe Rogan, everyone knows him, officially signing to Spotify, all like exclusively.
Oh, for the Joe Rogan Experience
podcast? kind of the big deal. That's kind of
cool.
crazy. Yeah. Everyone's favorite podcast next to what's the other one? Call Her Daddy.
Oh, I think what kind of content are you consuming?
The good kind, Roy.
Okay.
Only the best. Dead one. Unpause comes through right at the perfect time to save me from explaining my life. As an op is back in Gemini's hands. We'll see if he'll control this round. An opening pick is always nice. Maybe some... I feel like the perfect... Not the perfect counter, but something Fate should try is maybe fighting a bit more for catwalk. If they're giving you long for free, you could probably just send one player there, one player to throw support flashes. Because this is the perfect round for the 1v1. It's one player coming out from KOVA. And now I feel like you have three players stuck in towards mid. It's all on this catwalk player to hang on. But you know what? They're getting the kill, so it almost doesn't matter. Lutzi somehow gets 2 out of this situation. Makes it super awkward. And then the other 2 players from KOVA are going to try to cross CT. They're missing a smoke, so they have to jump across. Your caps will be given the chance to find duplicate. These players are locked in CT, so still a great opportunity for KOVA.
Oh, Oh man, Peku's not. Are you having a good time, Peku? I don't think he is. He just ate a nade, a Molotov underneath his feet while his teammate was being pincered on in towards the car position. And there it is. Fate, they threw it for a wrench, Keith. They threw the scrapbook out of the books. They ripped out the pages and they said, let's just go aggro mid and just pinch it with Cat. And it worked. Surprise, surprise.
Worked beautifully. Some aggression, something to just change up the pace that KOVA have been getting super comfortable in. And now, pressure will fall on KOVA's shoulders to switch it up because Fate starting to take the fight to them, like this lower push, for example. As Peku expect Ya to be here, he actually misses his opportunity, gets caught moving backwards. I don't know if they would have cleared him. And now Paitola can worry about the flank to push through B tunnels. He'll eat a nade, but he's going to push into it. They're blind from his flash still. 1, 2. Paitola is an absolute monster. What do you do against that? And now KOVA says, thanks to the aggression, we'll take the kills. And now Fate, the aggression might have been misplaced. They missed their chances. But KOVA are just taking full advantage of all these situations. So tip your hat to them. Paitola with, or excuse me, Peku with 3.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, the confidence there for him to just contest that upper B by himself, knowing there's 2 people up there, is probably attributed to the fact that they're up 11-2, but either way, that was pretty nasty from him. Now we're starting to tread into extremely dangerous waters here, man. They're down 11-2. If they can't secure at least 2 rounds here, they're leaving it up to a flawless next half on this offense side, which I haven't lost complete faith in. I think they will do well on the offense here, as long as they can get there.
I agree. I like this from Ya. I believe there's a player supporting him. Yeah, it's with the AWP from Gemini. And they're doing exactly what I mentioned earlier. 1 player long, it's been given to them. Take control. Own catwalk. But there's one glaring hole in this setup, and it's no one's spotting mid. Typically, you have 1 aggressive B player, 1 player window spotting mid push. Haven't set into that yet. And Ya backing up. Will he win the first fight? He will. Immediately traded by Paitola. The op has to fall into CT. Gemini backs up to site. Going back for seconds. Another slice of pie, if you will, Roy. And is he going to be giving it? Nah, he backs up. He backs up.
Is that what we're calling it?
Another slice of pie.
No, back up. He just fell. Wow, he's trying to creep up.
Well, yeah, I guess. You know, accidental backup.
But now it's really gonna come down to Gemini here. If you can hold back this execute, and it's gonna be, there it is. The Molotov, the flash is gonna go behind him. Him advancing is actually very dangerous if he cannot land the first shot and reposition. But unfortunately, he just misses and gets overwhelmed. But he really had nowhere else to stand on the A ramp, considering the triple Molotovs came out. And now it's just down to Zix and Nikki all the way on the B site. And I almost can't help but feel like Fate just isn't making the proper mid-round. And it's not a lack of understanding. It's just a lack of concrete evidence and information to go off of to make the right adjustments in the mid-round. And that's where the problem lies, in my opinion, in why the scoreline is so skewed in KOVA's favor.
Can they save their weapons going to the last round of the half? Yes, they're on max loss. Yes, they'll get 3,400. But these 2 rifles secure 4 rifles next round. They can drop to their teammates. Zix can drop the AK, or at least ask for an M4. Or at least keep the AK dropping M4. Their Caps doesn't even care if he dies. It's whatever. 11-2. KOVA have run away with it is an understatement. I think at this point it will be an op dropped by Nikki. I like that. Gemini can go ahead and drop back unless Nikki has a gun still. There's the FAMAS. Perfect. Everything's fine. They're shuffling it around. And it all works out. They get the utility behind it.
Only 1 autotyper? That's
wow.
weak.
Not even fair what Terkeps just did. I don't know if you're seeing this, Roy, but he just runs through the molly, takes the 1v1, finds a support player,
right,
now finds a site player, now almost finds
DMing.
a CT player. That's what you would call griefing, but it works. Look at him go. How do they let him do that?
They call this is the best strat in the game. It's literally called the Dirtcaps go kill, and he's like, yes sir. And he just goes out long gate, finds you triple entries, and now you have to retake the B site. Not only do you have to retake the B site with 2 people, but you have to deal with 4 players almost on full utility, and Zix just got spammed. Well, this is not going well, Keith.
Oh, man. Oh, now just Nikki. I also just realized my Twitter's wrong in the command, Roy. Feels bad, man. As Nikki's going to try to make the retake happen, though, Roy. He should be able to do it. Stuck on top of the box, and yeah, there it is. 13-2. KOVA. They're like, you know what, Caps, can you just go kill things that long? Do you mind? Can you and he runs through a molly while blind with an omp. And you can see the you can see how that works out. Seems like Bibby has kind of given KOVA the North American flair.
You mean Fate?
Or sorry. Wait. Yes, I'm losing my mind. Sorry. I don't know where I am right now, Roy.
Okay, I'm here to anchor the ship. But yes, you mean Fate. And
yes.
I definitely think they have a lot of things they need to reassess here on how they're approaching this Dust 2 because they're just not prepared for the kind of pacing that KOVA was putting on them. But let's focus on this round right here because I think this is going to be obviously an incredibly important round here for Fate. Almost necessary. If they can't claim this, their fate is pretty much sealed. No pun intended. They have a flash that just got used. They still have one flash remaining, and they still have one Molotov. That's it. No smokes to block the crossfires. No way to really go up mid or mid to B. So I think this has to almost be a short A hit. Hope that flashbang works. But look at this double here from long B.
Ooh.
Duplicate goes 1 for O. That's a huge kill. Denies the flank. Denies the opportunity for space. Now they're pressured. Now they're almost stuck long A. And this is where Fate can actually have a huge advantage in converting this round into a win.
Definitely possible. Nikki's going to get the plant down. They're going to fall back to catwalk. Duplicate picks up the USP and is going to start to pressure long now. Are they going to expect his timing here? Duplicate has them all lined up. 1, 2, easy for him. Finally will get shut down. Twixie. They have a smoke, but they have a kit, but no smoke. And the double bait again until with a player coming short. There should be no way it can happen. And Zix shuts it down. His block is spicy. 3 from Duplicate. And Fate, they do pick up a pistol.
Yeah. Off to a first condition is definitely sealed. Now they got to deal with a foresight, right? Double scouts, pretty difficult weapons set to deal with if you're on offense. Okay, shot for shot. I think one of those shots is better than the other, and Gemini will come out on top. And I think they're still contesting that. That's savage.
Wow. Certainly savage. And these scouts able to find a frag. Looking for Morris. Fate start to work out from lower. Gonna go ahead and get the pin smoke. And they want to cross. So the flash will come up to Nikki. Let his teammates jump up to the box. That hinge jump is also hard to do. Maybe I just suck. But everyone who hits that cleanly. Come on.
You don't suck, okay? You're just not experienced at making the jump.
I'm just fat in and out of game, I guess. My movement is hampered. Yeah, looking to double entry, and he is with his back 10. He's made money. He's made the money back to the back 10. And Duplicate will worry about the flank. And just like that, that should be round. Twixie shouldn't have an opportunity to get any kills. And Fate, I have a feeling they're going to want to keep KOVA off the board for a few more rounds. Get some rifles under the belt. Make sure they transition to the next round because it is just going to be no armor, maybe some upgraded pistols, but that's it. They're not even going to let Twixie save his eagle. He'll get run over. And there you go.
I like that. I like that ego chasing right there. They had nothing to gain from that, but they need the confidence, and that's a lot to gain. Now, the one thing that almost concerns me for Fate is, yes, okay, they got the pistol, they got the next conversion, of course. Now they're probably going to get a third conversion. However, on the next gun round, we're dealing with almost a full buy KOVA. And when I say almost, I mean like potentially a double op setup incoming as well. Dirkips will definitely have the op. He's just been such an impactful player with the op already. I can only imagine how much harder it's going to be on the defense side. But let's see this eco pop here towards long game. Maybe there's hope if they can find the instant kill in the AK. They're already rerouting off that.
I like this from KOVA. I believe Duplicate Smoke is a CT one? Maybe? I hear it pop. Could be door CT. I don't think it's cat, so... We'll see, but it looks like KOVA is just going to push right through mid anyway. Be greeted by the Mac 10s. There you have it. And it's a slaughter. Down they all fall. Fate stay flawless. I imagine they're going to upgrade. I don't think they'll drop an op. I think they'll keep the scout, but y'all will upgrade to the AK because with a scoreline like this, you really want to give yourself as many opportunities to pick up rounds as you can.
I do want to point out, though, that 4 of those kills in that round went to the SMGs, which, if you look at their cash right now, is actually insane. They're not going to go for the bonus, though. Obviously, with their kind of scoreline deficit, they can't really rationalize it. You kind of just have to go for the upgraded weapons. Gemini will be the only one keeping Scout. Not a big deal in that aspect. But right now, it's passive play from Fate. They're looking to cancel the default. There's lots of hands on today. A difficult battle for both teams, and it's going to come down to a clash. And it's 1-for-1 so far. And Uli, he gets away. Mar wounded down to 9 HP. He can't really linger too long. But he's going for the repeat, Keith.
Going back for some more seconds. Tola.
Ooh.
Okay, Yuli, relax for me. Happy with that M4 duplicate. Find some damage onto your caps. And Peku pushing for the bomb. Gonna go back for more. And there you have it. KOVA just kind of pinch onto that lower B player. Caps worries about Long, and the last player's coming up towards Long, at least was thinking about it. Now Gemini realizes he doesn't really have anything going for him. He'll grab the AK, might go for some frags. I mean, I feel like at this point you might as well try.
This is kind of an instant difference in culture approach between these two teams, isn't it? We almost never... I think the one round we saw Fate attempt anything like that on the cat side, they just got demolished by Peku. But you see Uli, he trades out 1-for-1, and he re-aggresses. He goes back for the kill. And then they push out double doors to pinch, to double peek the guy lower. That's not something that we saw from Fate at any point in time, right? That re-aggression in the early round, in the mid round. We didn't see anything like that. And these are what I consider at least off-time peaks, right? Off-time aggression. It's not typically when you expect it at all.
Look at this, Catsroy going in for more, even for seconds. He gets the one, but his players are here to support him. And it is just falling apart right now for KOVA. They're taking the aggressive fights, and they're losing them now. Fate, Gemini waking up. The op finds the refrags, find the entries. They get onto the site, and all of a sudden it's Paitola quickly coming up Cat. He may have timing, but the smoke slows him down. And Zik immediately realizes what's going on. And as the smoke fades, Paitola wins the first, spots the second player. Gemini has to be careful because Nicky's nowhere near this. Gemini playing the long game, will eat some nade damage, just trying to stay alive, let Nicky flank, pops up, and there you go. Fate. Get one back thanks to Gemini, hitting some nice shots, getting the refrags. Their caps went hard. And you can see the result.
What a round from Gemini, though. 4 kills, buying enough time for the flank to come in, even though it wasn't even necessary. I mean, he played that almost flawlessly. Now they got themselves a 14-6. Eco conversion here. Might bring them up to 7. Economy at this point isn't really that important, considering you're 2 rounds away from a loss. As long as you have enough for 2 buy runs in a row, yeah, it's a good spot for Fate. And they've already opened up the round against their cat. So far, so good.
Ooh, spam through the door. I like that. And now just shutting down the pistols. There you go. That's how you handle it. Everyone's getting a 4K now. Seems to be on the menu. And here comes the buy from KOVA, though, Roy. And another op for their caps M4 for the rest of the squad with full utility. And this is a big one. It's going to get to the point where KOVA's money is going to get great. Just due to loss bonus. So it's up to Fate to kind of keep their own economy alive. It's not like they have a big bubble of rounds, though, to work with. Oh,
That nade is going to chunk them down, make that easy for the M4 to secure kills. Now the flashes are waiting in. If they secure one more kill here,
oh my goodness,
screw one more kill. They're just decimating the entire team, and they've only taken 7 points of damage in return. KOVA just completely shutting down the difference in pace here for Fate on this Seaside. And now they got themselves match point. 8 match points in a row here, Keith, if Fate want any sort of chance for overtime. I'm not fancying their odds. I'm not saying it's impossible either, but it's certainly going to be a hell of a hard time.
Yeah, a hard time is certainly one way to word it. As Pekko about to be met in towards mid. Nikki peeks without a flash. Spam through the doors, off the mark. Yaw gets the read frag. Yaw yeet. As now Fate look to come up towards short Roy, but KOVA are pushing up long. They have control. The B player has jiggled and seen nothing, so we'll see how the rotates are going to fan out now.
I wonder why so many teams are afraid to push upper B.
Yeah. Surprised, because normally it's a thing that teams do all the time, right? You lose that trade, or you could do a 1-for-1 on the CT side in towards mid. You kind of need info, and if you don't have short or catwalk, I feel like you need to push in towards B. So Yuli's going to do it now that they're down a man, but maybe it's too late, because Gemini is going to find Durkep's head. And all of a sudden, just like this, I don't know if one catwalk player can hold this off. So, yeah, I'm surprised Pytola just is big chillin'.
Oh. Wait. Are they going for the save, or do you think it's going to be B?
I think they think it's B. They're like, ah, damn. Wow, okay, now we're saving.
Just kidding, boys. We were setting ourselves up for the save.
I mean, I'd spin it off of like, no, we were just clearing B tunnels because we wanted to save anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly. If they're not there, we just save. Oh, they're not here. Yeah. We're saving.
Not a big deal. But they do lose an op, and Fate keep 3 alive, so their buys are going to keep looking healthy, going to keep looking good. And they're closing the door, but KOVA are slowly, like, their trades are there, just missing a few pieces.
Yeah, I was actually watching Pytola on that B anchor, and there's like 3 instances where I felt like at least a peek into the upper B. Not even just a push, just peer, see if anyone is holding for you, right? And if no one is, then maybe you start to advance. But there was 3 instances in that round where it would have been perfectly timed. One, the first time was when they spotted most of the players in mid, right? As soon as you spot like 4 players, 3 players mid, that's already a big risk upper B, especially now that we're down a man. Did not budge, just stayed. Second time, they're clearly showing signs that it's long A. Didn't budge, stayed there. And of course, the third time was when they were actually coming into the bomb site, and still he didn't move. That's really risk averse, I feel. But either way, like, we're back to the default here for Fate. They did not like their... I think that's kind of been what's working for both these teams, right? Every time they tried anything differently, it was very 50-50. The upper B hit got them nothing. I think they're going to resort back to this default that's been working well so far.
Cannot blame them at all. Nikki can go ahead and get up towards Shorty, even though that smoke doesn't really allow him to jump up on E-Box as confidently as he did, but he does it. And he gets away with it, so no criticism to be had. As it just slow play across the board, duplicate the flank holder. He's been doing this before.
I haven't seen this boost in so long.
Oh, that one in CT?
Yeah, the CT spawn one to peek into upper short A.
I like it.
Old but gold, they say, Keith.
Yeah, old but gold. The old things slowly come back in a rotation as teams slowly forget about them. And now KOVA have a 2-man advantage. They still have the player in pit to hold this off and try to get kills. If they need to kill him cleanly. There's no chance back in the A site without killing this pit player. Yuli gets one. They're gonna swing under caps, and all of a sudden it's just duplicate alone. A 1v4, no time and no more HP. KOVA will run it through. The gauntlet was long. There was some bumps and some roads and some boulders that chased them along the way, but they make it to the Golden Head in the end, Roy, and they escape with a plunder.
A lot of gold. Pretty clean win, though, for SOVA, I must admit.
A lot of Indiana Jones references. Yeah, and again, it's kind of similar to what the match we had earlier on Train. The first half kind of depicted the second. Close first halves aren't as relevant as they used to be just due to the economy now, but blowouts kind of had more impact because it's harder to kind of make deep runs now the way resets work. So, yeah. It was tough.
I almost wanted to see a rerun of this matchup specifically, but have Fate starting on the T side instead, because I feel like they were starting to regain their stride, and a part of me wonders what would have happened had they started on the T side and gotten that kind of that early stride, and how different of a look that would have been on the other side for KOVA to be playing T side on a deficit instead of the other way around. But that is how she goes. It is only a best of one, so congratulations to KOVA as they advance to the 1-0 pool in the next week for the Swiss format that we are currently swapping to. Thank you all for tuning in. That has been the action for us today. My name is Stronglegs. This right here is Keith. Please follow us on socials down here below. And of course, Melanie, our producer observer, does an amazing job behind the scenes. And make sure to follow Winners League on all our socials: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Wherever you are, we're there too. And of course, check out VBet and win.gg. We'll see you later on for some NA action. We hope to see you there. Take it easy and goodbye.